Airbnbs and Verbos, collectively, these sorts of properties are known as short-term rentals. And you may have enjoyed one on vacation yourself, but that does not necessarily mean you want to live near one. That is the essence of the problem. Nasty fights between neighbors. And as two investigators Joel Eisenbaum discovered, one of them is hanging his hat on a new city ordinance that has yet to be tested.
It's alluring. Waterfront property right on Lake Houston.
It's a beautiful place. It's quite expensive, but not fantastically so.
And at first glance, Bil Stewart's home is a picture of tranquility. But get a little closer, and you'll see there are definitely signs of trouble.
Right, it just seemed like we'd moved into a mob neighborhood of scum.
Bil Stewart's newish neighbors never actually moved in. Instead, they're Airbnb-ing their house, and Stewart finds that activity very unneighborly.
Well, this is a residential neighborhood. We shouldn't be subject to a commercial, what is effectively a hotel next door.
This is not a novel problem. We covered this party in Spring Branch during the pandemic, and carbon copy complaints are common from neighborhood to neighborhood.
And I didn't buy my house to live across the street from a hotel to get all these cars parked up on the street.
But what Mr. Stewart lacks in particular is any clear legal mechanism to get the short-term renting to stop. His neighborhood, Walden on Lake Houston, has no deed restriction prohibiting short-term renting. And short-term rentals dot the neighborhood. What's more is Stewart's recordings, his signs, his occasional nasty encounters with guests next door are reflected in negative feedback for the property on Airbnb. And that's triggered a cease and desist letter from the new neighbor's attorney.
I wouldn't want that going on next door to me. I don't think you'd want all those parties. And I've seen the video. There have been parties going on next door to you. So what can I do then? What is the right thing for him to do?
Well, what happens is that it should have been communicated initially to the owner instead of confronting the guests.
And Bill's neighbors plan to continue their legal short-term renting, says their attorney. Other lawyers are being even more aggressive. Patrick Sutton is not connected to this case, but commonly defends property owners running short-term rentals.
The right to decide how long someone stays in your house goes back 2,000 years. This is not new, but all of a sudden, cities and HOAs are deciding that they ought to seize control of that, and that doesn't make any sense.
Sutton has had some degree of success fighting back, especially against city ordinances. And Houston has just passed its own, requiring short-term rental registration, adopting certain rules and penalties. But the city has not banned short-term renting outright by any stretch. Still, Bil Stewart hopes that very same ordinance will work in his favor, sooner rather than later, as he's dealing with serious health issues.
I'd be pleased if we got rid of these people in 2 years' time.
That's your best case scenario.
You're concerned for your safety. You go to bed at night and there's 20 people out there. Well, who are they?
Variations of this unfortunate scene between neighbors play out in subdivisions across our viewing area. Even city ordinances and deed restrictions against short-term rentals are being challenged in court now. And there's a case that appears to swing the pendulum in short-term renters' direction. See it for yourself at click2houston.com. Joel Eisenbaum, KPRC 2 News.